What is good, YouTube? This is DBZ49 coming at you with my first place box tournament locals, Vanquish deck profile. Very excited to showcase what I have to show today. To be honest, I've been doing really well with this deck. I went to 2 locals before this and I had really good results. I went 4-1 and 2 locals in a row, and then finally went 5-0 to get to the box. The only reason why I lost those 2 duels and, the first 2 locals was that it went into time, and then, we had to roll dice, and unfortunately I lost those die rolls. But, however, we came out on top. Just quickly going through my matchups. First round, I played against Dinomorphia. Next round, I played against Gold Pride Punk, then Dark World Danger, Kashtira in the 4th round, and finally Labrynth in the 5th round. So as you can see, I've played a wide diversity of decks and, conquered them all. I've been doing really well with this deck. Now you're going to see some really weird ratios, and I'll explain everything to the details. So without any further ado, let's get with the main deck, starting with Vanquish Razen, your best card in your main deck. This card is actually insane. Basically, a normal or special summon, you get to search any Vanquish monster that isn't a warrior. And then he has the effect of, you can reveal fire. This card can't be destroyed by card effects this turn, which is alright. But the other effect is, you use fire and dark, destroy all other monsters in this card's column. You can't use these effects in the same chain. You can only use one of the effects. So, it's a level 4. He's a fire. He's pretty big, 1800 attack. So yeah, he enables a lot of plays. He's a starter. You're trying to get to him as fast as you can. So yeah, that's it for him. And then we go to triple Mad Love. Mad Love is really good. Basically on normal special summon, search a Vanquish soul spell or trap card. And then, reveal dark, target a face-up monster my opponent controls, loses 500 attack and defense. And the other effect, which is really good, is, reveal dark and earth, and then return one monster with the lowest defense on the field, and if it's a tie, you get to choose. So basically, it can be a bounce. It enables rank 4 plays. As you can notice, like most of these Vanquish Soul monsters, they're different attributes, different types from one another, so it makes it really easy for, small world bridges. So yeah, this card is pretty good. Next, we go into my personal favorite card of this deck. It's Borger. Borger is really good. Basically, quick effect during the main phase, target Vanquish some monster that isn't a that is a non-machine. Tag it out, special summon him, and then you can reveal 2 effects. The dark one, which is my personal favorite, is reveal a dark draw card. And then the second one, reveal Earth and Fire and inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. So that's super, super good. So basically, it can be a pot of greed, help go for game. It's huge. And it's a really good Eradicator virus target. So Borger is a very, very powerful card. Next, we go and play 2 Caesars. Caesar's my favorite looking Vanquish Soul card. This card just looks sick. But you can target a non-dragon Vanquish Soul monster during the main phase, tag it out. And then he has 2 quick effects. The Earth one, this face-up card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects this turn. That actually comes up, believe it or not. You can just sit on this card, reveal Earth, and sometimes your opponent can out it. It's actually really funny. And then the other effect, which is really good, Earth, Fire, and Dark, which is kind of hard to get to, but once you set up your board, and the lines of play, it's kind of easy, and then you just destroy one card on the field and it's non-targeting. So that's really good. Next, we do play the one Pantera. Pantera is actually pretty good. If I control no monsters in my main zone, I can special summon this card from my hands. And a quick effect, I can use one of these effects. Reveal Earth, this card can be destroyed by battle, or Earth and Fire, destroy all spell trap cards in this card's column. So I can help, pop spells as level 4 Earth attribute. So as you know, with the Vanquish Soul cards, you need to have a multitude of different attributes in your hand in order for their effects to go off. And yeah, and so that's it for the Vanquish Soul monsters. Now for the hand traps, I do play triple Ash Blossom. Pretty mandatory right now. It just hits every single deck, especially Despia, and it's a fire attribute, so pretty good. Next, we do play double Ghost Spell. Also, a fairly powerful hand trap right now. It can hit almost every single deck. I only played 2. I did play 3, but I opted to play other utility cards instead. Belle overall did not perform well, but it's also an Earth attribute for the Vanquish Soul card, so it has that purpose as well. Next, we do play the Bystial package. In some matchups, it's dead, but for the most part, you can get some value out of it. Even if you like activate your own shifter, you can banish it and at least get some value out of that. Magnamhut's pretty good because you can search the Caesar during your end phase, so that's really good. They're big bodies. You can use them to link away for other stuff. Other utility cards we do play the one Kurikara, and then the one Dogoran. Also, good small world bridges can out particular bridges, especially a Kashtira, and then Dogoran. There's sometimes this deck struggles with like boss monsters that are like fairly indestructible, like Arrival and stuff. Psychic and Punisher, so you need cards like Dogoran to out those fire attributes as well. Next, my personal favorite sub package in the deck, we do play the 1 Arise-Heart and then the 3 Fenrir. Fenrir is so good in this deck. Like, it's a body, it can out certain cards. Search, if you need an Earth or Fire, it gets you to that. So that's why we want to max out on it. We want to see it in our opening hand. And this card was overall the MVP in my main deck. It's Fenrir, so I hope it doesn't get hit, but it probably will. Next, we do play triple Stake Your Soul, so I'm just going to read this card. Basically, reveal 1 monster in my hand, so someone Vanquish Soul monster with the same attribute, but a different name from your deck, but return to the hand during the end phase, which you don't really care, because you're probably going to link it off or bounce it anyways. Reveal any attribute, and then summon, a different one from your, a different name from your deck, so it's really good. Just gets what you need. Usually you want to get Razen out of it. Next we do play Triple Prosperity. Now, a lot of people in the Vanquish Soul community are, iffy on this card, kind of. Sure, it does conflict with Borger, but I'm here to debunk that and say that this card is actually pretty mandatory in this deck because, first and foremost, your extra deck doesn't really matter. Second, you want to get your engine starter or a board breaker in your side deck and help you play the game. So I'd rather get a card I need than like risk, play cards like Desires, banishing, 10 cards that could be potentially over 3 of, drawing 2 cards that can or may or may not help you. And then, people just don't play this and just max out on Small World instead. I think Prosperity, it's just so good. It gets me to whatever I need, so I think Prosperity is pretty mandatory. Next, we do play 1 Continue and then 1 Dust Devil. I see a lot of people play 2 of this, and I can see why. Like in the grind game, it does come up, where you do summon Mad Love and you can just get free search. But ultimately, like, the thing with my deck, as you'll notice, is I try to make it as consistent as possible, and I don't want to brick. And fortunately, I didn't really brick too many times. But usually the line of play I would always go for, like if I open Razen and like Mad Love or Borger, the spell card I always search is this card. This card like enables a lot of plays to revive Razen, search whatever you need, and then Razen can pop depending on where they put the column. And then if they play evenly and stuff, you can play around it, which is pretty cool. Dust Devil is actually really good against matchups like Kashtira. It's like a Book of Eclipse kind of thing, like Monster Reborn, or a Graveyard Recursion, which actually does come up. Next, we do play the 1 Rhoda to search the Razen, and then we do play 1 ofs. Some people are going to be like, what the heck? 1 Small World, 1 Tactics. These are hard ones per turn, so when I open multiple copies of them, they're pretty much dead. And I just want to just get value out of cards like Tactics is generally just a really good card. Whatever I need, if I need to draw 2 or rip a card from my opponent's hand to further my plays or take control, is really good. And then the Small World just gets me to anything. Like you can practically Small World bridge to anything you want in the deck. And then lastly, another card that really was overperformed for me was There Can Only Be One. Now, some people say this card's not that good. Like, I heavily disagree. Like, this card, like, puts a lot of pressure on my opponent, and it's actually pretty good going second. Like, they have to respect it. So, like, I flip it going second, then if they don't have a response, then they have to send stuff from their field to the grave. It just makes it really awkward for my opponent to play. It's really good against, like, Dragon League, Flunderies, and stuff like that. So, and then, ultimately, if it sucks, you decide it out. I mean, it's not that bad. So, that's why I opted to main it, because it can potentially be a board breaker going second. Next, we'll go with the extra deck here. The main one. 3 Rock of the Vanquisher. It's important to note that this card is not a Vanquish Soul monster, but it has 2 effects where, it's a Link 1, so it's like pretty broken. And then the 2 effects, you can only use one of them and it's quick effect during either player's main phase. Add a Vanquish Soul monster from your graveyard to your hand, or special summon one from your hand. So as you can tell, it's really good. Helps enable a lot of plays and whatnot. So when people evenly match you, what I do is I set the continue and have this out, and then whatever else I have. And I'll continue to add from graveyard to hand and then leave this on the field. So that way I can still play on their main phase. And then at that point, you'll have so many cards for follow-up in your hand, so it's pretty good. Next, we do play Access Code Unicorn. These cards never came up once, so they could be on the chopping block, in the next format or whatnot, that like I can play other cards instead. Next, we do play 1 Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Security Dragon. These cards go really well in tandem with the, Vanquish Soul, Rock Soul, because it's co-linked. So, if you do have a card like there, could be one that's not impactful in your hand, you can just easily discard it. Pop a card and then draw a card, so it's really good. Security Dragon is also pretty good, because there's some cards like Chaos Angel or something like that. It's kind of hard to out. So you just make Security Dragon. Like one time I bounced my own Kaiju. I did Kaiju and another thing on my post board. It was like Dinomorphia or something. So it's pretty good. Next, I played Lingeribo. In case I do get Ibly locked in, which I did. So this did come up, so I'm glad to put it in. Next, I did play the 1 Riseheart. Good against the Kashtira matchup, of course. And then you can rank 7 pretty easily in this deck with Fenrir, Borger, and then the Riseheart itself. So you can make this card, so it's pretty cool. Next, we do play the 1 Exciton Knight, 1 Bagooska. Exciton Knight overperformed and made it a lot, especially going second. Just wipe the board, attack, and then make Zeus on top of it. So it's really, really good. Bagooska is also another way to, swing and then make Zeus as well. It's also good going first in certain matchups. Like you can just make Bagooska. Like one time I made Bagooska, set there can only be 1, pass to a Pirelli player, and like they couldn't out the board. It was like cool. And then I did that also to a Dinomorphia as well. So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. And the next I played the Zoodiac package. Format, material, attack for free directly, and then Zeus, which is the next card. Extra deck, like I said, Unicorn and Access Code could get cut. Maybe Lingeribo as well, if Ibly's not as popular, but could play, something like Super Poly or something like that. Next, for the side deck, we do play Triple Shifter. This card is absolutely crazy. Like, it doesn't hurt you at all. It does a little bit, like continue, and then the Vanquish Soul, the Rock to recur from the graveyard, which is but the thing is like, Shifter is like a turn skip against a lot of decks, so you just play it. It's a dark as well. Also, you can discard it off of Cerberus or Nightmare Phoenix if you wanted to get some more value out of it. And then, if you Shifter, like what you do is like you normal summon Razen, you search whatever, you just tag out the Razen for whatever you, for like a Borger or something. And, or if you really want to make Rock as well for follow, you can. So Shifter doesn't really hurt you as much. Next, we do play the Shifter, or the 1 Harpy's Duster, 2 Cosmic for back row, and Runic especially. People play Anti-Spell Fragrance, so it's good to put Cosmic Cyclone as a counter side. Then Triple Dark Ruler No More. Really good against Sprite and whatnot. Evenly matched. These are some of the cards that you want to get off of your Prosperity. It just just free wins. Just drop these cards and establish your board, and pretty much a game from there. And then lastly, probably one of the best side deck cards in my deck right now. It was the Eradicated Epidemic Virus. This card outright just won me so many games. Borger's a free Epidemic Virus target. So yeah, just call, spell a trap, and then it's just free win from there. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. I try to go as much in depth as possible. Definitely, there's going to be some changes, especially with the new format with Duelist Nexus coming out. the hand trap lineup might change. Like I might have to main deck, Imperm, Droll, and Nib, and just take the L in terms of like not having the correct attributes in hand. But you're going to have to play those cards in order to combat the next format. There is a ton of utility cards in the main deck. I think about like 20 or 19. So like 12 of them could be dedicated to like hand traps, and then product prosperities, and the other cards could be flex. So anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, please feel free to post it down below in the video. I try my very best to read all the comments and respond to the best of my ability. Once again, thank you for watching, and have a great day.